when you met Osama, so have you signed the NDA with him, or you usually with any of the developing country outsourcing company vendor, you usually have to sign the NDA with them, or just base your trust on the intuitive or the gut?
No, we try to always do an NDA. NDA is probably the most simplest form. I think it's sort of the standard but a mutual NDA.
So you think that this NDA build help to build trust mutually with the vendor?
I think so, yes, but in the end, the value is only as good as action, right? It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, yeah. So, in with respect to informal communication and relationship management, how is informal communication like the casual conversation and rapport building in managing trust across the cultures, like you from developed countries managing the vendors from the developing countries?
I think it's incredibly important for somebody like me. It all depends on the client and it all depends on the person working. But I think Osama has identified like that. I value that more than probably other people would, and so the ability to interact with me on a personal level goes a long way. People want to work with people that they like. That's a general, universal, global thing. So I think it does go a long way. I
Okay,
think it's a big part of rapport building.
got it. So, in context of the regulatory authority, how do the banking system and the tax laws or the government regulations in developing countries influence your trust or payment processes?
They influence the regulations and the payments. They influence how we pay. They sometimes, like I had to make a very strong, trusting decision that to use a wire transfer to Code Zero outside of the standard, agreement of escrow and give and take. It saves your company money, saves me the extra fees of paying, but it also gives me it's the same thing I was talking about before. The operating outside the guardrails is just that you're less guarded. So it implements an element of risk to the transfer and the payments. I typically wouldn't do that, but I've given Osama that trust that he's earned. But uh, it's hard. Like I had to talk to my wife about it. It affects my family. I've been fronting a lot of the money from my client that he's paying me on a slower rate, but I had to just trust that I went into the negative, but it affected me in a way that I could pay a little bit less and allow Osama to get more through the lack of the fiber fees. Fees are just insane. The fees that we pay for the software and the technology are so high, but it affects the technology providers, and when it affects the technology providers, it indirectly affects the customer.
Okay, then if the barrier is the fee, then how you manage these things? You directly transfer the payment. That is the alternative
Yeah,
you have.
there's like for example, an agreement to pay part of it through the escrow account through a fiber with fees, and then the rest of it, a remainder of it through a wire transfer.
Got it.
That's the way that it has affected.
Okay, got it. And have you experienced any cultural misunderstanding or communication barriers in cross-border work? As you have already said to me, there is a communication barrier. Some people don't
All the
know.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all the time. It's pretty standard. Less with Code Zero, but there's always going to be that. There's just cultures are different, and that's a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, in my country, people are stupid and they think that we are the best or know the best. I don't agree with a lot of the things that happen in my country, but there's always going to be a difference, good or bad. It's a good thing because we're all different, but it's never as easy if I was to work with somebody in my country down the road. but the same thing for you. It's always going to be way easier for you to work with somebody in Pakistan because you are culturally aligned, and language and everything, holidays, Ramadan, services, anything. It doesn't. It's good. None of it's bad, and it's just different.
Okay, so do differences in work ethics, time zones, or infrastructure, like example, internet stability, affect trust or
Yeah,
cooperation?
Osama's internet sucks.
Okay,
When past 2 days the internet was bad on my side. You just caught me there.
so this is not from Mark's side. I think this is all the Americans. They complain about Pakistanis. The internet in Pakistan is not
I
good.
don't complain about it. Osama complains about it. I'm just kidding. No, I know. I don't even know. I don't even know what the internet is like, but I know that infrastructure is not as is less. I mean, that's the whole definition of developed, right? Like developed and underdeveloped. It's actually been pretty good when it's if you when it's all said and done. There are places way worse off, and I've actually been for Pakistan. I've actually been pretty impressed. Like it's as bad as it is, and we joke about it. It could be a lot worse.
Okay. Last 3 to 4 questions are left. Uh, do you believe these secure payment tools like PayPal, Stripe, Wise, blockchain enhance trust in international software outsourcing?
Yes, I think so. I think that they provide a standard. Um, they provide a standard by which we blockchain less, blockchain maybe not as much, but Stripe, PayPal, because a lot of those are American. Just to be completely transparent, a lot of them are American companies with Americans are so horribly focused on like suing and protecting and legal and legally, like we're so built on not trusting. Our country is just built on not trusting people, and it's terrible, but it's because everybody wants to sue everybody else. I lived in Spain and nobody cared about like safety or who's at fault because people take accountability. um, but I think those companies are set up to allow people to um, be protected. People are entitled, and I think they enable that. Meaning, the company allows you to do chargebacks and protect, and the credit card companies, will bend backwards because we spend so much money that they will bend backwards to give you your money back if it's not good because they want you to spend more money. So it's a horrible thing, but yeah, I think for developing countries, they benefit the developing country.
Okay, just last 2 questions from my side, Usama. Just I need 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just wanna add one thing before you start. Okay, so about the internet, it's not the problem in Pakistan. So actually, what happened was, there are two service providers in Pakistan. One is PTCL, and the other is Nyatel. So they both, a kind of fight with each other. One of
Always.
them, one of them, took off all the wires of the other. So that's why the internet was disrupted of my area. It's not with the
Amazing.
government, it's just the local, people. They are just always, trying to get their business up.
That's funny. They're trying to get downtime for the competitor. That's
Yep.
funny.
Like
No,
Elon
I
Musk
know.
is fighting with another competitor, another capitalist in America.
Yeah, that's the American way.
Man.
Okay.
Okay, so you could continue, Harsh bhai.
Okay. Last 2 questions. Like if you are talking about PayPal, there is no PayPal in Pakistan. So have you faced any of the issue with respect to PayPal? If there is a PayPal in Pakistan, then people in America would love to send money and trust the people of Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, blah blah. So how do you see these services in developing countries and providing the ease to the Americans?
I think that they provide ease to the Americans because it's not PayPal, but I think that there's unfortunately the power lies in the accessibility to the developing countries to be on. And I know there's a lot of laws and legislation. The sad part about it is like their ability to be connected to that tree is very much, to the point of your research, is very much tied to their ability to become more developed, to have access to income. um, so on the payment level, I think that obviously it comes down to laws and regulations and government, local governments, and their abilities to stop or not stop uh, countries from whoever's controlling, right? The countries that are able to be on those platforms, unfortunately, have way more power to who can have that money and have a piece of that pie, which is really fascinating to me. So that's why companies like Fiverr or Upwork or the other ones, when the payment system is built into the technology, the ability to be on those platforms and to access those payment flows is is massive, um, because that's where the money is flowing. But things like Wise and companies like Deal and Remote and a lot of these other companies that are trying to take it basically so I can hire somebody anywhere in the world with a PEO, or professional employment organization that's set up in Pakistan. Unfortunately, we have to navigate all those things where I'm actually hiring you in Pakistan as a Pakistani because you can abide by Pakistani laws, and then I can use you as an employee in America. Um, that's why I think those walls are breaking down a little bit, because people are finding workarounds for spreading the wealth. Unfortunately, things like this whole America first and our country and the way things
Yeah,
like
term policies.
it's not helping everybody else. And so that sucks. I hate that. But it's the people, unfortunately, those are the people that are having control over where that money goes and who can get it and where it is. So, I mean, that's never, it's always been like that. I think it's becoming easier though.
Right. Right. Last question from my side. Uh, Basically, there are two questions linked to each other. I would sum up in one question. What key advice would you give to someone from developed country looking to outsource to a developing country,
Yeah.
particularly regarding trust and payment? That is the one question. And the second one is, if you could improve just one aspect of global IT outsourcing, what would it be? Trust building, payment security, communication, regulation, or something else?
Okay, those are great questions. Number one, I would say what I would improve is the ability to find social proof and trustworthy examples of previous work that is reliably done by the same group that's going to be working for you. The ability to expose that and actually vet or talk to verified past customers. So a lot of times that being verified as a past customer is a good thing because of the whole trust on that. Um, but having access to those actual customers and being able to ask them those questions from a payment. What was the first question? Was
Yeah, it was about the key advice would you like to give to someone from developed countries looking to outsource to a developing country, particularly regarding trust and payment.
yeah. So the advice I would give would be to have it, the trust factor. Unfortunately, I don't think this is for me, but for specifically United States is all I can speak for because that's where I live. I think having somebody on the front lines like Osama or a company that's looking to outsource, it's no magic, it's no secret that the better that the communication is in the whatever countries, whether it's Italian for Italy or whatever, the trust is always going to come in cultural alignment and relevance, the ability to speak the language. There's no magic in that. Like, we all know that. I'm just saying it, which is Osama's ability to speak English so well does. It doesn't mean I should trust him more, but it does help with the trust factor because at least we can communicate and get past the communication. And so um, that I would say is number one. But number two, the ability to be organized and deliver and have systems in place that provide dual accountability for both sides. Uh, in other words, keeps both parties accountable, not just you or them, is going to be the biggest piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, Mark, thank you so much for sharing your experience and insights